The Earth is full of mysterious creatures, and each day we hear a new story of something that's unexplained that's washed up on the shore somewhere, or something seen lurking in a forest. It's true that there are many places on planet Earth that are unexplored, and the chances of finding a new or different creature we've never seen before become very real. With that said, we present you with 5 mysterious creatures caught in South America. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. The Vanzolini Bald-Faced Saki. This creature has eluded scientists and has remained hidden for over 80 years now. The cowl-haired creature was first spotted in the 1930s, but has eluded scientists ever since. In fact, some thought that this monkey was extinct. It turns out that the monkey just lives in a very remote area and is good at hiding away from other creatures. To find the missing monkey, a team of scientists, photographers, conservationists, and local guides set out on a 4-month-long expedition into a little explored part of the western Amazon. The group of monkeys was documented after one of the scientists researched the taxonomic structure, or basically the family tree, of this elusive creature. Since one hadn't been seen for 80 years, there was no photographic evidence. So how do you find something that you're not sure if it even exists, and how do you track it down? Well, deep in the Amazon jungle, where the region is unexplored and little is known about, a team set up a small camp and worked with the locals to see if they could find this creature. The Vanzolini Saki is covered in shaggy hair that's dark brown but also a distinctive gold color around its arms and legs. These monkeys lack the prehensile tails of other monkey species that allow them to easily swing through trees. This species appears more like cats, running on all 4s across thin branches. After 4 days on a river expedition through the forest, the team that set out to find this creature spotted one scrambling through the trees. The monkey, missing for 80 years, was found. The Vanzolini Bald-Faced Saki monkey was first cataloged in 1936 by naturalist Alfonso Olalla. His report described a monkey with a long fluffy tail and golden fur on its limbs. A few more specimens were found, once in 1956 and then again in 2017, but both of these instances involved dead specimens. That fluffy tail isn't much good for swinging through the treetops, however. In areas less likely to have humans present, the monkeys would approach, appearing to be curious about these people floating along the river. In areas where they might be hunted, as was the case with the specimen found earlier in 2017, the monkeys were more shy, peeking out from under their retro hairdos. When faced with predators, the males would run away from the females and young, but hold up, he's not just abandoning his family. Apparently, this is in the hopes that the predators would give chase to them and leave the others alone. Number 4. Evil Gnomes. Doing a complete 180 from where we began comes a legend about the existence of gnomes in South America, and not just any type of gnome. We're talking about evil gnomes. The world of strange sightings and encounters can cover some vast territory, ranging from ghosts to aliens to fantastical creatures of all shapes and sizes. Reports such as these take this label of things such as gnomes quite literally, with descriptions of diminutive beings complete with lederhosen clothing, beards, and wide-brimmed pointed hats. There's a surprisingly large number of such encounters out there, and one region of the world where they seem to be particularly abundant in Central and South America, where not only do gnome sightings come at a regular pace, but also tend to be rather frightening. In Central and South America, where they are known as the duendes, these evil gnomes are prominent in the folklore of Spain, Portugal, Mexico, Central and South America, and many Spanish-speaking regions. These forest-dwelling creatures are typically described as standing anywhere from around 18 inches up to 2 or 3 feet in height, and are most commonly depicted as wearing wide-brimmed pointy hats and cloaked in animal skins. The stories of duendes vary from region to region, but they're mostly said to be mischievous tricksters with a tendency to steal from people or play pranks, and they particularly enjoy tormenting young children, although they sometimes show a more benevolent side by helping travelers lost in the woods. I really can't figure out if these guys are evil, or just weird and misunderstood. Although not traditionally said to be particularly evil per se, here we go, they're definitely seen as troublemakers, and it's typically not considered to be good luck to run into one. It might be absurd to believe that these things actually exist, but there have long been reports of encounters with these gnomes, and many insist that these creatures are real. Stories of duendes terrorizing villagers and even killing pets and livestock abound, and these sorts of accounts have continued right up to modern times. One of the most well-known duende sightings by far happened in 2008, when a teenager named Jose Alvarez actually managed to capture the strange being on his cell phone camera. The short video clip shows a rather unsettling and creepy gnome-looking being doing a strange sideways walk, but the video is really short and not very clear, leading people to think it's a hoax. Well, what do you think? Let us know in the comment section below. Number 3. El Chupacabra. Many are familiar with the Chupacabra, whose name literally translates to goat sucker. The legend began in South America. The first reports of Chupacabra attacks seem to begin in the 60s, with 8 sheep killed and drained of blood. Many locals suspected a satanic cult, and soon, 150 similar killings had taken place. By the end of the year, the mysterious beast was said to have been behind over 1,000 attacks. Descriptions of the creature vary, with some saying it's winged, that it has hairy arms and red eyes, or that it's gray and alien-like, between 3 and 4 feet tall, and walks upright on muscular hind legs. From 1996, there were reports of attacks as far afield as Miami, the southwest US, and Mexico. And still, reports of bloodless, murdered livestock persisted. Originally, owners of the victims thought the Chupacabra to be a half-human, half-vampire beast. The victims, most often goats and chickens, are reportedly drained of all of their blood but are otherwise left intact. There's usually no other evidence of a struggle or attack. Instead, simply 2 or sometimes 3 puncture marks, almost large enough to accommodate a human finger, are found in the animal's neck. Stories suggesting Chupacabra activity can be found in newspapers dating back to the 1950s. In fact, the first reported case in North America was in Arizona sometime around 1956. Although incidents have been reported in Arizona, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, New Jersey, New Mexico, Florida, and parts of Chile, Brazil, and Mexico, the majority of activity has occurred in Puerto Rico. A rash of attacks plagued various regions of Puerto Rico in 1995. In Canovanas alone, several hundred livestock fatalities were attributed to the Chupacabra. The origins of the Chupacabra are a subject of debate as well. Some people believe that this creature is the left-behind pet of visitors from outer space. One veterinarian in South America believes that the Chupacabra is a genetically modified vampire bat. Other medical and official personnel suspect that these incidents are caused by packs of wild dogs, and specimens of Chupacabra that have been caught are said to be coyotes suffering from mange. Whether the Chupacabra is a real animal or only a product of hoaxes and imagination, its effect on human beings is the same. If somebody does finally prove the existence of Chupacabras, the legends surrounding them will die out, replaced by scientific analysis. But if the creature remains a mystery, then, there will always be believers. Number 2. The Buraru. You might think that you've heard of every type of legendary monster until you hear about this one. The Buraru, as I will pronounce it the rest of the time, or Pale One, comes from the myths of the Tucano people of Colombia and Brazil, who were a part of indigenous natives in the northwestern Amazon along the Valpais River and the surrounding area. They're mostly in Colombia, but some are in Brazil. The Curupira is a mythological creature of Brazilian folklore, and its more monstrous Colombian version is known as Buraru. Much like the Curupira, the Buraru has backward-facing feet to confuse its foes, and is a protector of wildlife. Beyond its feet, however, it is far more grotesque in appearance. It's very tall to the extent it's tree-sized, pale-skinned, but covered in black fur, has large forward-facing ears, fangs, and it uses 2 main ways to kill its victims. First, its urine is a lethal poison, and secondly, if it catches a victim in its embrace, it will crush them without breaking skin or bones until their flesh is pulp. Then, it drinks the pulp through a small hole made in the victim's head, after which the victim's empty skin is inflated like a balloon and are then sent home in a daze where they subsequently die. Jesus Christ, this is Hannibal Lecter stuff. It can be placated by tobacco, but to escape it, one can either place their hands in its footprints, which will cause its legs to stiffen and temporarily fell the monster, or alternatively, run backward while facing it, which confuses the monster. Number 1. Metapec creature. It was rumored that this creature that was found stuck in a trap originated from South America. The creature of Metapec is a strange animal found by Mexican farmers in May 2007. The creature of Metapec is rather small, about the size of a small cat or large rabbit. It has smooth, whitish-gray skin with a large head for its size. The creature appears to be quadruped with dexterous front paws and a long tail. It had 2 forward-facing eyes, giving it stereoscopic vision and likely indicating that it had predatory habits. Its head resembles that of the well-known gray aliens, possibly suggesting a connection. Urso Ruiz, who regularly used to set up traps to feed the owner's birds and snakes, found a small alien-like creature alive but still caught in a rat trap. 4 people who worked at the ranch, including the owner, claimed to have seen the creature alive in the trap until they apparently got so scared it might escape they decided they had to kill it. Shortly after the story became public, the ranch owner died in a car fire, which many believed was caused by aliens seeking revenge. Urso Ruiz, who originally found the creature, apparently confessed on an internet forum that he had hoaxed the whole thing. But at that time, there was no scientific evidence to back up his confession, so many people were still unsure if it was an alien or not, so the debate continued. Apparently, 5 labs from around the world had tried to identify the DNA, but the results were still inconclusive. One of the labs from Mexico claimed it might be of human origin. The creature was eventually sold to UFO journalist Jamie Moussan, who tried for years to get the world to believe it was a real alien. Then, during a lie detector test, Urso Ruiz stated that he had actually made the creature himself. The lie detector confirmed he was telling the truth. He said that when he was working for a zoo, he was sent a monkey for taxidermy. He said because it looked interesting, he put it in a trap at the ranch where he was working, and the owner told him he had seen it alive. The owner then took a bunch of photos and got on the phone and started ringing up lots of people, including Jamie Moussan, saying a live alien had been caught on his ranch. That dude thought he was gonna have a big payday. Despite this, many people believe this creature is really an alien, and that Ruiz was forced to tell the lie to keep the whole discovery a secret. Alright, Top 5ers, if you haven't already, make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant, for even more interesting list videos that'll blow your mind. Oh, but I'm warning you, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There'll be a link in the description to the channel, so make sure to come and visit us. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Oh, and have you visited thefinestpost.com to enjoy the most amazing articles you will ever get to read?